Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Die. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Die's Shorts. I know I said I was going to take the week off and I have, and I've been back to the dentist because my stitches came out, so I wanted to check that out. But I'm feeling a little better. So I thought I would just pop in and do a fun little project with you. And I also wanted to show you the white willow paper cardstock. So I'm going to show you that. I also got my paint by number chicken ready. I haven't started it yet. So I will start on my chicken after this video. So here she is. Look how big she's going to be. Oh my gosh. So stinking cute. So Jeff brought me in a, I'm not sure what kind of board this is. But anyway, so I just put her on there as flat as I could. I ironed her because she was a little bit folded, so I just ironed it. And then I put the blue tape on there so I can take it off. But before I started, I did brush on, and I just got some cheapy brushes off of Amazon, then I can just throw it away. So I put some clear gesso on it first, just to have my paint stick a little bit better. And then I also bought some of the Flow Aid, and this just kind of like if your acrylic paint gets a little bit thick, you just put a little bit of that in it. It just helps your paint go further. I haven't smelt this yet. I'm going to open this up. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. Yeah, so before I started, I just wanted to, because I did show you this last week, I think. So I just want to, I want to see if it smells like the old-fashioned paint. Let me see. Doesn't really have a smell. No, it doesn't really have a smell. All right, so I'm just going to close that back up. All right. Okie dokie. So let's put that back here. And hopefully I don't mess it up. But anyway, so yeah. So I just got a few things that I can use for that. All right, so I did, like I said, I did go to the dentist, and he thinks that this happened when I cracked that tooth is when I fell and broke my arm, because I did come down on my face. And he says that that could have been, he could just tell by the crack. He called it something like a force crack or compression. I don't know what he said, but anyways, he said that that probably is maybe when it happened. So yeah, so now, and he did make me a little it's like they use a Invisalign, so it's like Invisalign. I don't have it in now because I want it to heal. Cause see, I got now this big old hole there. But I wanted to heal more before I put it in, because it's a little, it's still swollen. And I put it in the other day, and it kind of hurt, right? Because I'm still kind of recovering. But he did make me this little Invisalign thing. And then they put some white teeth kind of things in there. So when I'm not eating or sleeping, I can wear it, and then it'll hide that hole. So yeah, because I think I have to go 3 months while this all, gets well before they can go the next step. All right. Well, you didn't come here to listen to me talk about the dentist. All right. So I am going to flip my camera, and we are going to just do a quick, I don't know if I'll finish the project or just show you, because I was coloring the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I need to make one of these with you. And it's going to be using the Santa's hat because it is so adorable and it is so fun to color. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. And I did want to go over the white willow cardstock. This is a 12 by 12 cardstock. And it is, I also want to get a piece of the basic white to compare it. So let me get all that going on here. All right, so close your eyes while I get ready. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to use Santa's hat. And I want to show you, so this is White Willow. Now, White Willow is fairly new. I I can't remember if this came over with when Close to My Heart closed down and Stampin' Up got some of the Close to My Heart stuff. So I can't remember if the White Willow came from there or not. But you see, White Willow is mostly what is in the scrapbook kits. So I think it's the same thickness. So this is the White Willow. Like I said, it comes 12 by 12. So that's fine because you can use it for like a lot more things because it's 12 by 12, right? You can use it when you're scrapbooking. You can use it for 3D. You can trim it down for your cards. When it's 12 by 12, it just has more uses. So I'm going to use that today. So you can see the White Willow, and then this is just some basic white. So I just kind of wanted to compare it. It doesn't say on here like thickness wise, but just me feeling it, they feel like the same thickness, but to focus. So this is the White Willow, the smaller piece, because I'm going to use it. And then this is a full sheet of the basic white. So I think you can see that the White Willow is whiter than the basic white. It's just really hard to see, but it is whiter and it's way smoother. All right, so we're just going to do a hat just for fun because, like I said, I was playing around the other day, just, you're not feeling well or you just kind of like bumming around. So I like to read. I like to color. You know me, I like to color. All right, so we're just going to stamp with the Memento. I did try the hybrid pad with the White Willow because I thought, well, maybe that paper is better. And I'm still having some bleeding issues. So I'm just using my Memento. And the hybrid pad, I tell you like it is here. Not all of the colors bleed. Just some of them do. So, there's that. But I just keep using my old faithful Memento. So I am going to let that dry a little bit before I start to color. Now, I did notice when I was playing with it that the White Willow, and I think it's because of how smooth it is, that if you get really close to the edge, sometimes the colors will go out. So you just want to keep that in mind. Like maybe when you're coloring, stay in the edge a little bit. But I was able to fix it with the color lifter. So, I'm not going to worry too much about that. All right. Now I'm going to end up cutting this out. So I'm not going to put a shadow line on the outside, anything like that. So I do want my light gray granite, and I'm going to put, a little light gray granite on my ball, oh my God, pom-pom. That was me the other day. I couldn't figure out the names of things. All right, so, and I'm going to put a little gray around here as well. And I am going to go in with my color lifter and soften that a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more than I would normally, just because I'm going to do that. All right, so we also want a shadow up here. So I just want it to look fluffy, right? All right. And then I'm going to take my color lifter, and this is removes boo-boos, but it also softens colors. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to kind of brush up and take a little bit of the color away. And I also feel like the white willow takes that color, you know, a little bit differently as well. So I'm just softening up that gray. I probably shouldn't have did that one there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more and kind of remove that one totally. And then it takes a little bit for the color lifter to dry. So while that's drying and doing what it wants to do, I'm going to color the little hat. So I'm going to make this be a pink hat, you know, because I just had so much fun messing around with the pink. So I'm going to use dark Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to put a little dark Flirty here. And this edge over here. So I'm just not going to really rub a lot on too close to the edge. All right. Put dark. Because like I said, I'm going to cut it out. So, and then we're going to put that dark in here as well. Okay, so that's our dark Flirty. And then I have, where's my light Flirty? Here's my light. So then I'm just going to go in and add a little light in there as well, just to soften that a bit. I'm also going to use Bubble Bath. So I'm just, you know, rubbing that dark with the light just to kind of soften it, so that when I add my bubble, there's a little bit of a lighter pink, you know, kind of in between there. All right, then I have my dark Bubble Bath. And I love using the Flirty and the Bubble Bath together. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just rubbing that Bubble Bath into the Flirty just to kind of soften it a little bit. And I like these together because it almost gives the hat like some texture. Like, doesn't that look so cool? All right. And then I'm going to do my light Bubble Bath to finish it. And because the Flirty and the Bubble Bath are, you know, they're both pinks, but they're not the same color. It gives you that really cool, you know, kind of textury look. All right. And then I can go in and, where's my light Flirty? Where's my light Flirty? So I can go in here and add a little light Flirty. And it's just kind of giving that hat a little bit of texture. You know, like maybe you're seeing the stitching, or, you know, or however it was sewn. And you can see now that this has dried. It took away that one I didn't care for there. Remember I did that one? So my color lifter removed that gray granite one. All right. So this looks stinking cute, I think. And then I'm going to let that dry really good. So while that's drying, because I'm going to add some polka dots to it because it looks so stinking cute with polka dots on it. So I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. Just going to go over here, make sure it's not too dark. And I'm going to put a little Wink of Stella in the pom-pom as well as a little bit down here on the brim of the hat, but I don't want to color it all the way in. I want to also leave some white. So I'm just kind of where I went with those grays. I'm just putting a little Wink of Stella. But like I said, I didn't color it all the way in. Let's see if this will focus. There you go. So you can kind of see where that sparkle is, but yet there's still like plain white. Okay, so this should be good and dry. This makes me so happy when that bleeds through like that, because that means you really, really had fun coloring. All right, so now I have my cute little hat, and I'm going to take my my gel pen, and we're going to put some polka dots. So I'm just kind of over here where I made that little Wink of Stella mark. I'm just going to start my pen. So I'm going to have my dots be big and little, it's just going to be super, super fun. All right. So I'm just going to start making some dots, and you just want to make sure that, this is really good and dry. Otherwise the color can come through, if it's still kind of wet. All right. So we're going to do another biggish one over here. And a biggish one over here. So I'm kind of doing my big ones first, and then we'll fill in with some smaller ones. But what's important, we'd want this to look three-dimensional, right? We don't want it to look flat. That's also why, I've got some dark around the edges so that it kind of makes that hat have some dimension to it. So not only am I going to come in and put some little dots, I'm also, like right here where this line is, I'm going to put like a half circle. And then what that does is you can see where that fold is. It folded on a circle. So you only see, a partial circle. I want to do the same thing, like over here. We'll put like a little partial circle there because this hat, wraps around. All right. So I'm going to put some little, little tiny dots here and there. Like I said, I don't want them to be all big. When I do my fingernails, sometimes I'll put polka dots on my fingernails, and I'll do the same thing. I'll have big dots and little dots. It just makes it, I think, more fun. So I'll put another big one there. Let's see. Let's put a big one here, a little one. All right. But let's put a few more kind of half ones that wrap around. So we'll put one here. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you keep that black line. Don't cover the black line because then it doesn't look right. So you just want to make sure that you just go right to the line. We'll put another little half guide there. And another big one. Let's see, where else do I need to? I think maybe along here. I'm so glad we have gel pens again. All right, and then I'm thinking I might need a little, I'm going to put one here. think that looks so cute, doesn't it? So cute. But I think I've put enough little polka dots on there. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. So I'm not going to cut this one out maybe till I know what I'm going to do with it. Because maybe I'll end up, using a die. So the one I did earlier, I did cut it out, and I just think they look so cute. And you can see they look a little different. It depends on how much of the light bubble bath you do, the blending, but I love how this looks, and you can really personalize, the little hat, because now we have a polka dot hat. I don't think I did polka dot hats yet. I had fun with this the other day. All right, so these are ones you've already seen, but I don't think I did I did ones with designer series paper. So some of these are repeats, but I don't think I did any colored. Yeah, so this one is totally new. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But so hopefully I gave you some little tips there in regards to the cute little Santa's hat. And you can do this with any color, right? Like the dark and all that kind of stuff. It's so cute. All right. So let me say, see you later, alligator. So yeah, so I'm excited to start my painting. So I'll show you next week how far I got on it. He's pretty big. So I'm hoping I can do it on my desk because I have really good lighting here. So hopefully I can do that. And I guess you don't really have to keep it straight up, just like when I'm coloring here, I move, it upside down and whichever way. So it could be the same kind of way, I guess, with that too. All right. So I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you Monday for my mimeograph Monday with a twist. And that'll be 3:00 Arizona time, same channel. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. All right. Bye for now.